You're watching Telecom TV's exclusive video coverage of the Gen 15 event from Dallas. And I'm joined now by Pascal Menezes, who is Advisory Director of the MEF. Pascal, good to see you again. Last time we met, it was in Vancouver at the MEF members meeting. We've come a long way since then, and you personally, you've moved on from Microsoft.
Yes, and thank you, by the way, for having me. Yeah, Vancouver was awesome, and it was a great interview. I have moved on, and I've left Microsoft. I wanted to pursue a very focused effort on SDN and NFV. I believe the industry is retooling, and I really want to be part of that industry and that wave to really drive that forward full 100% of the time.
So you're working with the ONF, aren't you? What are you doing with them?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm actually involved with many standards. So with the MEF, I'm the advisory director. I'm really helping the MEF to enable this third network vision. And then working with the ONF, I've been the vice chair, or I am the vice chair of the northbound interface.
Now, so when you say the northbound interface, what does that mean?
So the northbound interface, you think about it, is from the orchestration. I think you've been hearing this thing LSO all the time, right? The LSO is an orchestrator where you have tenants or operators can come in and configure what they need to configure, and then the orchestrator kind of does all those things underneath, and it talks through these set of interfaces to SDN controllers or NFV orchestrators themselves, and those are those interfaces that we're working with in the ONF.
So is it important that associations such as the MEF collaborate with other standards bodies and other groups, and we have this cross-industry ecosystem in a way? Yeah,
excellent. That's exactly what we're trying to do. You know, it's all coming together now. You know, if you think about what MEF was doing, it was all about carrier Ethernet, and done a brilliant job, you know. Carrier Ethernet 2.0, it's got classless service, it's got amazing capabilities, it's all over the world now. And the thing is that as we move from that to, like we talked about the last time, about elastic networks and on-demand services and provisioning in real time, and so that's enabling a new set of technologies. That's SDN and network function virtualization, NFV, and tying all that together as orchestration, what we're calling lifecycle service orchestration. So that's how it's all coming together. So there are multiple forums now that are doing parts of that. So when we think about the MEF with carrier Ethernet and ONF with the SDN controller and SDN, and then we're looking at the NFV to partner there too, tying all that together enables us to deliver this end-to-end vision of the third network.
And this move towards open solutions, what exactly do we mean when we say open?
Yeah, good question. I mean, everybody claims open, don't they? It's awesome. So there's three definitions. I mean, there's really a couple of definitions of open. I mean, there's open source. We all know open source. Everybody collaborates together. It's all open. People work on it. And then, depending on the licensing, people can take that and then, use that on their own products and commercialize it, right? That's one potential where it's all open, and I'll call that open source. But there's also open from the standards bodies or the forums like MEF or ONF, where they will take and define specifications, but instead of you having to be a member to get access to that specification, you can actually just get it from the website publicly. So if you're not a member, you can't contribute to that spec, but you can consume it free of charge, and it's completely open. So that's another definition of open. And I think, as we move into this world of open, we're doing both. Documenting what we want to do, and also using open source to experiment, collaborate, be very iterative, and agile, right?
So tell me more about the work you're doing on software-defined third network and cloud access, because you give a presentation here at Gen 15.
Yeah.
What's the message you're conveying?
Yeah. So actually, the ONF and the MEF, they asked me to come to work with both the forums to kind of land this vision and to really instantiate what is this third network about, right? So we talked about it last time. We talked about that agile, elastic, but really what we're seeing is service providers worldwide are delivering carrier Ethernet, and it is the mainstream now, and it's a very massive market. But it's transport, and it's very good transport, very great. But when you go past the transport, you want to be able to have, as a third network, to be able to connect to where? Clouds. Clouds are where all the IT is moving to, right? If you think about it, business is moving all their stuff into the clouds. So having a business network like carrier Ethernet connect to the clouds which has all the IT, is very important because you need a high quality connection, and not like the internet, which you can't trust. Then on top of it, if you think about the operators, they want to make money not only on the transport and connecting clouds, but they want to make money on instantiating new kinds of functions that would normally be at the customer prem, but keep it in this kind of in this pipe. And if you think of it, they're calling it network as a service. So I can put security services, I could put VPN services, and so then the service providers can make more money. But all of that has to be done very fast, so that when a customer says, in fact the customer says, give me that, and just automatically provisions itself. So there's no people or truck rolls, very automated. And it also has to be able to have all that functionality so people can drag and drop off a canvas, say, give me a firewall, and it has templates and they can just pick from it and bam, it's up. Not like the old days, like it takes days, months, to get anything done. Everything's got to be agile, fast, and then orchestrated, right? That's really important. And then finally, assured is very critical, because at the end of the day, if a customer is going to buy all of this to connect to a cloud or to their sites, they got to make sure that it's secured, it's got the quality of service, it's a business grade connection. Otherwise, they just use the internet, right? Does that make sense?
It makes sense. It's a great vision, but how do we get the industry to implement the vision? What steps do we need to take to get there?
So that's a very good thing. So we're actually going right now, and we're going to start market requirements documenting, make sure that we talk to the customers, the tenants, and they go, yeah, we want this. The cloud operators say, yeah, we need this. And finally, service providers go, yeah, we want to do this. And then what we're looking to do right now is to actually create a prototype of this model with the orchestration, the SDN controllers, the network function virtualization infrastructure, okay, all of that, and we're building that out into a kind of a prototype model where, and much of this will be open source, open based, where then everybody can come and start using that as a reference architecture to go build their own versions of that inside their own service provider networks, or anything so it's not like have to invent from scratch. So that's kind of our next step after that.
Fascinating.
Does that make sense?
It does indeed. Very clear vision, and the steps we need to take, let's hope we can take them, and we'll meet up again hopefully in a year's time and see how far we've progressed. Until then, Pascal, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.